What's up guys, my name is Michael and today we're getting a closer look at Metastrike. So Metastrike is a first-person shooter play-to-earn game that is set to have its IDO launch later on this week. It's launching on 3 different platforms and a lot of people have requested me to go over this. Why is because so far we haven't really found a play-to-earn first-person shooter game that really stood out, that really blown us away with very high expectations. And when we're looking into the crypto gaming scene, there's coming more and more games getting out that have a very high budget in gaming development, and that's kind of what we want. That's kind of what we're looking for, right? When we get into the metaverse, when we get into the virtual reality world, we kind of want to feel like as if we're actually in the game. Same goes for this. If we can kind of copy Call of Duty, for example, and get that into the crypto gaming scene, into the play to earn scene, you would have a winning game, right? And we haven't really found that yet, so we're getting a closer look at Metastrike, whether it has the potential to be one of the top, first-person shooter games out there or not. So at first, the introduction to Metastrike, a blockchain-based role-play shooting game with a collection of weapons for players to equip, upgrade, level to complete mission, and earn NFT tokens. It's kind of basic, I guess. Players can have a gun collection, build map to fight, and steal NFTs from other players. Metastrike is a first-person shooter project that can be used as a basis to develop your own FPS project with any ideas, which is cool. That's kind of the idea of getting into the crypto scene with gaming. People can actually create their own stuff. They have kind of a saying in how the development of gaming goes. Every once in a while, people holding bigger NFTs or more amount of tokens always have kind of a saying in the development. Same goes for this. You can, as you're playing, you can create your own land and you can create your own virtual land where you can play in. I've seen a little piece about that where you're able to actually develop your own land that you can use to play in, and other people can actually buy into that land so they can use it as well as a field to play the game in, which is pretty cool. Includes many features essential for modern multiplayer first-person shooter games, objects such as weapons, characters, projectiles, shells, explosions, game models, and much more. Alright, so the game concept. This is not very developed yet, in my opinion. They have a zombie mode, which is kind of similar as to Black Ops, right? They have team mode and deathmatch mode, right? You kind of want to see a little bit more here. You want to see things like demolition, which is always something that was very popular, but obviously there's a lot more different. Capture the Flag was one that I played when I was playing Call of Duty a lot as well. So you want to give people a little bit more options, right? But it is early stages, so that things like that might come later on. And this is cool, custom map, so you can build your own map to play and earn, right? You can play in your own map and you can earn money with the maps that you make. So for the people that are actually gamers, that's pretty awesome, because the people that kind of get a feeling for how a map should, what a map should look like, and what should be in the map and where it should be placed. People that get a feeling for that, they can actually earn a lot of money, because the better your map is, probably the more money you will earn from it, right? So you have an NFT box here, which a weapon that looks like this. So looks pretty cool. You can probably customize it. You can make your own colors on it. You can put extra equipment on it, like a grenade launcher or a better grip and stuff like that. NFT equipments. Here you can see a little bit more of what the weapons are gonna look like. Cool, not that special yet. And then here, the metaverse of Metastrike. So I've already started playing the video a little bit earlier because I kind of wanted to get a feel for what it was looking like. But let's have a quick look at this, right? So this is the virtual reality type of idea behind the game. You can see the guy there with his glasses on. Probably a lot of people are gonna wreck their TVs, run against walls, and kind of fall over the things that are around them when they're in a game like this. If something happens around you, you probably have a reflection. You might jump away or something like that. But it looks cool, okay? This is kind of the idea you have from a virtual reality game. Nothing too special. We've already seen stuff like this before. All right, cool. So that makes sense. We'll have a look at the video that's at the top of the website in a second. That kind of gives you a feel of what the gameplay looks like. All right, let's do that right now. So you kind of get an idea of what the gameplay looks like, right? And which is pretty important to know. I feel like this game has a long way to go as for development, but since there's not that many first-person shooter games out there yet, for now it doesn't really matter. You just want to kind of know that the team behind it is, first of all, experienced in it and has enough skill sets and resources there so they can actually, develop a game like this quickly. If we look at, we look at this, it kind of gives a feeling of Call of Duty 2, kind of gives a feeling of Black Ops, right? The first Black Ops. But if you look at Call of Duty now, then development has gone quite, they developed a lot over time. But I think Call of Duty 2 would have been what, maybe 14, 15, 16 years ago, something like that, that they've developed the game. So um, if we compare that to a Call of Duty 2, then we see a lot of similarities, but we don't really want to wait. Let's see, 14 years later review. We want to have a online gameplay, right? Online multiplayer. So we don't really want to this one. We don't really want to wait another 10 years, 14, 15 years, 16 years, however long before we're going to see a very well developed virtual reality crypto gaming blockchain game, right? Within the first person shooter. We want to see Metastrike develop very, very quick over time. We want to see within the next 1 to 2 years a game that, feels like it's more developed than the newest Call of Duty out there. That's kind of what we're looking for. If not, probably the hype around it will slow down a little bit. People will lose interest a little bit, and we'll start looking for games that are, developing faster and quicker. If you look at this, kind of brings back a lot of memories. Most guys that played this game when they were younger, I think. But as you can see, this is not very developed either, right? So many people played this game and probably still do, even though it's not that very well developed, just because it had that feeling around it, right? What type of feeling, I think we get the point here, what type of feeling are we now looking for within the metaverse? We're kind of looking for that feeling of a game that's just makes you feel like you're really there on the battlefield. If it's not gonna give you that feeling, that's my personal opinion. It's not really what we're looking for. Because why would we otherwise get into the whole crypto metaverse gaming scenes? Because things are gonna develop so much faster. Sure, we can also earn money with it, but that's not only the point for us. It's the point because we're the investors. But for the actual gamers, that's not really what they're looking for, right? And from an investor point of view, the better the game is, the more people actually participate in playing the game, the better it is. So they need to do a proper marketing, they need to do a proper game development, and then have a proper, ecosystem set up around it, which is going to have a good model for us to invest in and to know that in the longer term at least, we're going to make money out of it, right? So there's a dual token model. They have the MTT token, which is the in-game token, and then they have the actual token, the MTS token. So maximum supply here is 565 million. It's not that much, which is good. Used to advance maps with rare NFT drops, in-game activities, staking to receive weekly rewards, used in major tournaments, participate in DAO governance. So this is what we talked about, right? You get access to, help develop the game. You get insights of the development that's going on, and you can give your opinion on, what you think would be a good decision, and you can share ideas. Purchase metaverse land NFT boxes. So here, later on, MST holders will vote to share those fees earned towards MTS stakers. All right, so this is the MTT token, in-game token called MTT, main play to earn reward token, which is gonna unlock new maps, participate in game modes and special events, purchase regular consumables, upgrade weapons, swap to, right, this is your actual money earning system here, swap to MTS token up to a certain amount, requires the user to hold an NFT before they can swap. So this is kind of what we're looking for, right? In game, you're going to earn MTT tokens. With these MTT tokens, you can eventually swap it for MTS, and attached to MTS, there's actual value, money value. You can swap that eventually for, I don't know what it's going to be. It is on the Binance smart chain, so it might be BNB, it might be BUSD, whatever it might be. We can turn this into actual money and there comes the value in, right? Plus, it says that you need an NFT before you can swap. So, also, we're gonna know that there's gonna be value in NFTs. People playing this game, they're gonna want this NFT because they're gonna need it to swap this token into money. So that's what we're looking for. Now we're probably gonna know that there's gonna be more rare type of NFTs, and the more rare they are, the higher amount of NFTs you can probably swap. Right? We don't really know if that's gonna be the case yet, but that's usually the way they handle it. So while development is going, we want to have a look out for that. If we see like things like that happening, we might want to get one of these NFTs, or we might want to get the token because we know that there's going to be value there because the gamers would want to buy one of them. And there's a burning mechanism. Anytime MTT is used for anything, it'll be burned forever. 10% will be pulled into the weekly prize pool to reward ranking gamers for use for competitions. All right, cool. Then the roadmap. So we're not going to get into this for too much because here you have the deck. It's going to have a little bit of a more detailed explanation there. But Q4 2021 was supposed to be the ideal date. So they've postponed that. I think it was the 27th or the 17th of December. And they postponed that to the first and second week, or the second week of January. Usually not that good of an indicator, but if they build up enough hype around it to have a good IDO release again later on, then people forget about it. It doesn't really matter, but you never really know the exact reason of why they had to postpone it. Sometimes it means that the development is slowing down. That means that they're falling behind a little bit, or it just means that they're coming close to the IDO date and they didn't really have their things organized and they weren't ready for it themselves, which is definitely not something that you want from the team, right? Q1 marketplace closed beta version NFT sale. So we want to have a look out for the NFT sale as well. Q2 2022 open beta version, human artificial intelligence, weapon switching, metaverse land sale, which is cool. Q3 open beta version, deathmatch mode, metaverse early access, and later on in the year, full 3D models. This is something we want to look out for. That's where it becomes a little bit more real, a little bit more what we're looking for in the play to earn scene. Release of new NFTs, the maps, the weapon skins, weapon upgrade feature, and Metaverse 1.0 version. Cool. All right, the team. Let's have a look at the team. This is pretty important, right? Especially with a game like this. We want to know that not just on the longer term, but in the short term, we're going to see fast progression. So Metastrike is a team of plus 25 members who have strong passion for both game and blockchain, rich experience in virtual art, game development, and design through 10 years of developing games with partners like Ubisoft, Square Enix. All right, cool. So that's a positive, I guess, but what that really means, we'll have a look at the actual team. We do believe that blockchain games will be the next big thing and revolutionizing the game industry, which is definitely true. All right, so here's the team, which is a big team. I'm not going to go through everybody, which is going to take a little bit too much time, but we're definitely looking at Peter, the CEO. Let's have a look at Chief Game Designer, which is, I guess, important. We'll do Game Developer as well, and then one of the blockchain guys, Blockchain Dev Lead, and maybe quickly the Marketing Lead. We'll see how much time we have for all this, but let's get started with Peter, the CEO. He hasn't shared his LinkedIn on here. Well, I mean his Twitter, so we'll have a look at his LinkedIn itself. CEO and founder of CGR.com and Metastrike. Cool, so he has run another business before. CEO Metastrike, which he's only started obviously last year. Blockchain, yeah, okay, so this is the game that we're looking at. We don't really have to look at that much further. And he's also the CEO and founder at CGR Company. All right, let's have a look at his other company that he's developed. Let's look at the website for a second. This will be a good indicator, a little bit at least, of his experience and the things that he's able to scale up. Hire our artists to join your game projects. Clients come to CGR Creation with that project. Will find an experienced team of artists with flexible workflow to guarantee that product will always be on schedule and budgets are always within limits. Cool. 3D modeling, animation. My English is not too best today. Animation, skill effect, and VFX illustration. All right, cool. So these are the problems, common issues and challenges, the common problems people have, and these are their solutions. Testimonials. All right, they trusted us and won the market. So these were probably people that worked together with them or used them. Bandai Namco is a massive company, of course. You can see they've already worked with other blockchain companies, which is good. Blockchain Game Alliance, Ethereum, Crypto Beasties, Ubisoft, obviously massive, Gameloft, NFT champions, Decentraland, so Decimated, so and then Metastrike, of course, as well. So they have worked with a lot of other crypto platforms or crypto games, and also with some massive actual gaming platforms or actual gaming companies, which is, I guess, a good indicator of their potential. Jam City as well, which is the developer of Champions Ascension. I did a video on Champions Ascension the other day, which was developed by Jam City, which is also an awesome gaming development studio. All right, cool. So this looks good, right? This is a good. Here's a video. CGR Showreel 2021. Let's have a quick look at the things that they've created. All right, cool. This is Metastrike itself. So this is Metastrike, which they've worked on already. So this is kind of the things that they've created, the things that they come up with. Looks cool, right? Looks good. That means that the potential to develop these type of artworks or these type of features within the game itself, the potential is there, right? All right, cool. I think that is enough for now about this company. Also enough about the CEO. Let's not look too much in these guys, but this is he was the Son Nguyen is the chief game designer, co-founder as well at Metastrike, and before this didn't do too much. Then we have next up the director of business development. I don't even know what his name is. That's not very useful. Hao Dao, he was the blockchain dev. Not too much either. So he's worked as a software developer at a company for 4 years. And then Victoria Bean, which was, I think, the marketing guy, right? No, who was this? Yeah, that was the marketing guy. Different name. All right. So not that much information available on the rest of the team, but we have a good indicator of the CEO, the guy who runs it. You know, he's done a good job before, which is good. Rest of the team not that well known yet. So let's look back at the website itself. There's only really one thing left, because this is not clickable and this is also not clickable. So there's only one thing left, which is the deck. And I think I had a quick look at it before. Yeah, it's 26 pages. I haven't fully gone through it yet, so we'll do that together. But Metastrike is a blockchain game, a blockchain-based VR role-playing first-person shooter game, which is a mouthful. All right, so the introduction to Metastrike, a blockchain-based role-play shooting game with a collection of weapons for player to equip, to upgrade levels, to complete missions, and earn NFT and tokens. Players can have a gun collection, build maps to fight, and steal NFT from other players. I think maybe that's just me not being able to speak proper English, but this should be like an S here. I've seen it a couple of times before where the sentence doesn't fully make sense. Build maps to fight and steal from other players. So that's something to kind of work on a little bit. I feel like when you put out something like this, your English should be spot on, should be totally perfect, I guess, but maybe it's just me making a mistake. Metastrike is a first-person shooter project that can be used as a basis to develop your own first-person shooter project with any ideas. It includes many features essential for modern multiplayer first-person shooter games. Objects such as weapons, characters, projectiles, shells, explosions, game modes, and much more. Alright, cool, which makes sense. We want to know a little bit more about the actual ecosystem and the setup of the game. So, value of Metastrike, so it's free to play, cool, which is good. You see sometimes you have pay to play, right? Axie Infinity's pay to play, and there's a lot more free to play games coming through these days. Build to earn, you build your own map and you sell it as an NFT. So I really like this concept. because now you're able to not just play the game, but you're able to properly earn money with it if you want to, right? A lot of people will just play the games because they just like playing, but still, I'm not gonna play the game myself. I don't really have time for it. But there's gonna be people that like the idea of building something, playing something, and making money out of it, right? So I really like this concept. This will motivate gamers itself a little bit more to really try their best and build stuff. And the more things are built, the more things are sold, the more money we as investors eventually earn. Play to earn, performance and game result earn through single player mode, earn from PvP mode. Alright, cool, makes sense. Illustration. So this is kind of what the weapons will look like. You have level one, a common, you have an uncommon, you have a rare, and you have legendary, and these will come out of these NFT boxes. Cool. Illustration of Metastrike. Yep, illustration of Metastrike. We've already seen the trailer, so we don't really need to look a little more into this. Zombie mode, team mode, cool. The game modes, deathmatch. Game concept, so zombie mode, team mode, single player mode where player can pass. Yeah. So this is all similar to every single game out there, right? They say it. They've taken a lot from Counterstrike. They've taken a lot from Call of Duty. So it only makes sense to see a lot of similarities there. With the zombie mode, is kind of like Black Ops, right? And the rest is the same as almost every first-person shooter game out there. The game concept, metaverse of Metastrike. So this is kind of what we're looking for. All right. Guild mode. Guild fight each other to steal land. Land used for metaverse. Guild players use land to build houses. Multiple houses. There should be an S behind it, and their own headquarters. Inside houses and headquarter players that can create their game and earn money when other players visit. Alright, cool. So this is pretty cool. Why? It's because you can actually steal land, and by stealing land, I guess you're stealing money because somebody can sell their land as an NFT. So you can probably steal somebody's land and sell that as an NFT, which is a cool extra feature for the one stealing it, and a not so cool situation for the one losing his money, losing his land. So the innovation of Metastrike crafting station, players can collect NFT pieces throughout the game and craft land or new guns, other items like knives and armor. Marketplace, buy, sell NFTs of the game. Design a room, where players can upload their design and will be voted to be deployed into the game. Market plan. Alright, so the initial plan is to launch the game to get market awareness, build Metastrike core community, SEO, get a YouTubers and Twitter crypto game, influencers. And how they're gonna do that? They're gonna do that by build official social platforms, new partnerships, community contests, AMA events, influencer networks, crypto media coverage, and extremely attractive rewards for early adapters. Which makes sense if you believe in a project like this, or you just believe in the first person shooter type of project. You want to be early. You want to be one of the guys that's jumping in something like this very early, because you know that you're going to grow along and lift along with the growth and development of games like this, right? The one thing we're just looking for at is that going to be Metastrike. So far, it does look good. It has a lot of potential, but there are a couple of flaws, I guess, that we would want to see fixed very, very early on already. The IDO is coming up within a couple of days. We don't really want to see these flaws anymore when they're launching their token, and when their token is being, is going in circulation. People can buy and sell. When stuff like that happens, all the basic simple stuff like English, we just want to have that out of there straight away, right? So the development phase comes after that. New gaming features, developer interaction with player, grow community base, acquire more active players. How they're going to do that? By new game modes with PvP. All right, so there are going to be more game modes, which is good to know. Real-time developer run storyline. And then lastly, they have the expansion phase. New exchange listing, expand market size to new countries, exponential user growth. Get listed on top tier crypto exchanges, which is obviously the strategy to get new exchange listings. But how are they going to actually do stuff like that? They don't really say much. Exchanges are usually looking for how many people are investing, what's the volume being traded per 24 hours, right? So that's stuff that they want to focus on. How are they going to get new exchange listings? by getting listed. Yeah, obviously that makes sense, but how are you going to get listed? How are you going to increase volume? How are you going to increase your marketing to make sure that there's going to be more people attracted to the project, etc.? That's kind of what we want to look for within the strategy, right? More well-established partnerships and influences. All right, cool. So this is not really that much that were thought through, right? Maybe it's just a simple deck, a simple breakdown a little bit, but us as investors, we want to have access to be able to see all these things, right? Because it builds a little bit of confidence in us, investing in it or not. Business model, it's free to play. It has players trading, it fee from purchasing items to play the game, to play the game. Trading fee from marketplace. All right, so that's like the royalties, I guess, from selling NFTs. Service payments, fee for crafting items, and fee for uploading community design. Advertisement opportunities on in-game environment. Cool. Earning mechanism for players. This is from what's that called? Ready Player One, is it called? So similar thing, why would they take something from another game unless there's some form of interaction with it? Why would they not use a photo of themselves, right? Because this just kind of seems like they're not very creative with what they should put down here. But all right, so there's players, events, sell items at marketplace, stake, building metaverse, NFT items, crafting NFTs, unique game modes, team modes, game competition. Cool. Dual token mode, so these are the two tokens that we've already talked about, right? And this is something that we've already seen as well, the MTT token, in-game token. Cool, so this is important, the MTS token allocation, the tokenomics. There's 565 million tokens in supply in total, and so a very large amount, 25.66% is going to the private sale, and 15.93 is going to the team and the advisors. So that means that 41% is going to the team and the private sale people. So they control 41% of the total supply. That's not really, I think that's a little bit much. That's a little bit on the higher side. Why? Is because it means that as soon as people like that start dumping their sales or dumping their tokens, obviously the price is going to go down a lot. And what the good thing could be is if they all hold and nobody sells it, they help the price go up eventually. But, they really do control the price here a little bit, which is a little bit scary for somebody that's want to jump in to make money on it, because they might buy in and guys like these might sell it, and then obviously your investment is going to go down. So you don't want to have people control the price too much. So I think 40% is a little bit on the higher side, but we don't really know the vesting yet. So we don't really know when the team is actually gonna get their tokens released, and we don't really know what the private sale vesting schedule is gonna be yet either. So we'll have a look at that first before we make up our opinion. So the liquidity for the exchanges is almost 9%. Airdrop is 1%. Marketing strategy close to 17.7%, which is good. It means that they could have a pretty aggressive marketing approach. Staking and community rewards, yield farming foundation reserve is highest, that's 30.86, which I guess is normal. All right, then we have the MTS token sale. So MTS token sale on the blockchain of Binance Smart Chain. Governance token, obviously. So initial market cap is 450,000 with initial circulation supply of 9 million. So that means when we get started on the IDOs, when we get to the launch, the initial market cap is going to be 450,000 with total supply of 9 million tokens. What does that mean? Let's quickly open up a Google Drive document, because we kind of want to know how much one token is going to be, right? Oh, I already made one. I forgot about that. There we go. That saves a little bit of time. So we want to know how many one token is. So we have my MacBook is a little bit slow, guys. In 2 weeks, I get my new upgraded MacBook. So we're gonna have a very smooth clicking system when we have that one. All right. So initial market cap is 450,000, and the initial supply is 9 million. 9, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. All right, cool. So initial market cap is, so the initial token is 450,000 divided by 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 by 9 million. That is, let's have a look, 5 cents. So the initial token price will be 5 cents. I don't think that that's mentioned anywhere here. No, it's not. So what we're looking at is it's 5 cents per token at the start. So what we're looking at is, you know, we want to have a, when looking at games like this, you obviously want to aim for a, you know, 20x from the IDO if you do participate in the IDOs. So you kind of want to get to the $1 per coin per token. But again, because I see so many people having the private sale and the from the team, the tokens, you can expect a pretty massive dump if they get their tokens straight away from the start. So here you can see the seed, they don't get their tokens released. So 0% at the listing, 2-month cliff, and then a linear vesting over 24 months. So that does mean that at the start, the seed round won't get their tokens. They get 50 million of the total tokens. So they're still locked for the first 2 months. The strategic rounds, we don't really know the price that they've paid for it, but the strategic rounds, they got 30 million tokens. They get 5% at the listing. So they get 5%. So this is 30, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. They get 5%, right? So that is this times this. This is, what is this? The strategic round. So strategic round. So the strategic round is gonna get 1.5 million tokens at the start. Then we have private round. So the private round gets 55, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 55 million. And they get 10% at the listing. Oh wait, hold up, they get it here. 5.5 million. We don't even need to do the calculations. 5.5, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Not one. Hold up, 5, 5, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. There we go. So they get 5.5 million on the private and the public IDO, which is what we can participate in if we want to. They get how many? 2 million tokens. So they don't really get that much. 3, 1, 2, 3. It is released on, let me see, is there a social media link here? Seedify, on Paid Network, and on another one. They mentioned it on their Twitter. So they do have 55.3 followers already, which is good, right? They haven't launched yet for a game like this. If you look at Decimated, for example, they have less followers than this, whereas Decimated has a lot of attention because they are such a good developed game. Let me see. All right, cool. So Seedify, Roseon Finance or Roseon Finance, whatever it may be, and Paid Network. So they're releasing on 3 different platforms. So they're releasing on 3 different platforms with the total token allocation of 10 million. So 10 million tokens at 5 cents, right? So let me see. The public round has a total of 10, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 10 million tokens. So that means that they have this times this. They have 500,000 in total dollars allocation to give away in the public IDOs, which they need to spread out over 3 different platforms. That's not that much, right? What is that going to mean for people participating in the public IDO? It means that they're going to have a pretty small allocation, depending on obviously which tier you're in. But as for, you know, the whole platform itself, Seedify usually gets in between of like 175 up to $300,000 in allocation. Now they need to split 500,000 with 2 other ones. If Seedify is the biggest one, they might get 250, they might get half of it, or they might even get a little bit more. But it means that there's not that much left for the other 2, right? And then you need to have a pretty high tier to be able to get enough money there to, you know, make it worth it, make it worth your while at least. So they get 20% at the listing, these guys get 10% at the listing, and these guys get 5% at the listing. After that, there's a 2-month cliff. Here's a 2-month cliff, and here's no 2-month cliff, which is good for the guys participating in the IDOs. Why? Is because it means that within the first 2 months at least, and you would want to sell it straight away, you can sell it before these guys have access to the other tokens, so they can't really wreck the price, which is good. And then you only have 2 months left where you can claim your tokens together with these guys. You just gotta be quick and you just gotta sell it as fast as possible. So you're a little bit earlier than the other guys, so you have the highest price possible, right? What are we looking for? We're looking for a price that goes up towards the 80 cents, towards the $1 after the launch, and yeah, you can expect it to kind of go down after that again. Whether it's gonna go up or not really just comes down to whatever these announcements are gonna be for the guys, the development they're gonna come up with, and the kind of the trust they're building within the community. Are people that are participating in the IDO and for example, on their Twitter and on their Telegram, are they actually going to continue being in those social platforms, looking at the development, and they're just going to keep their tokens and just letting them sit there, or do they not really get the feeling of the project and are just going to sell it as fast as they get their tokens, right? Which is, I guess, pretty important for not just the public IDO, because that's not that much, $500,000, but especially for the other guys, right? Are these gonna sell straight away, or will they keep their tokens over time, which is pretty important for the growth of this project. Roadmap, we've already looked at this a little bit more, and then we have the team. So this is the strategic game studio partners, CG Art, which is obviously the company of the owner, Peter Nguyen, if I pronounce it right. Here, this might be his brother or something, cousin. All right, cool. So I guess that's it. They have an advisor here. This is Alan Ta. Haven't heard of it. And then the partners and investors. So this is kind of everything we have about Metastrike. We kind of know the setup of the game. There's definitely potential there. They need to fix up a couple of small things here and there. I believe that should do that. Within a couple of days. They probably won't, but after the launch, they should really fix couple of small things, fix the English, for example, fix the spelling a little bit, give a little bit of a more detailed explanation of what's to come. But other than that, I do think that the whole first-person shooter scene has a lot of potential. Games like Call of Duty are one of the most played games ever, right? And if we can transition that popularity into the crypto gaming scene, into the play-to-earn scene, then games like this, sky's the limit. They can be one of the biggest games out there, right? So the potential is definitely there. They just need to really focus on the development. They need to really focus on the overall look of the game a little bit. I'm a little bit disappointed in the graphics of it. So they'll probably be able to come up with a little bit more and a better gameplay, a better trailer and stuff like that over time. But they gotta be quick. The whole crypto gaming scene is fast-paced. So they gotta be quick with the things that they come up with. So that's all for the video. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate it if you would hit the subscribe button so you're updated on when the next videos come up. And I will see you guys in the next video.